I feel like it can easily be taken for granted, generosity and like the ability to give and show up for people. And so I think in our dances, like something I always felt was that desire to like share and give was so clear. And so I think that's why, like I say, that it feels like we feed off each other, and it's just really that like excitable energy just grows like really rapidly because that natural temperament to show up and give is there. Like I don't have to ask for it, and you don't have to ask for it. Like we're just there.
Yeah, I mean, it's so easy to be present when you're met with aliveness.
But I think in some ways I trick myself when I dance with you, and when I've danced with you throughout the years, because dancing with you immediately brings me back into that place of like aliveness, and it's so clear and so obvious and so natural that I forget that I was anything else.
I remember that moment that we met, and it was a Sunday afternoon contact jam. And I remember being on the floor really depleted. All of a sudden, it was like I was swept up by you. And there was such aliveness there. And he was twisting me and twirling me and throwing me and playing with such amazing vast array of movements, and I was just filled with this joy of just meeting like this dancer muse, and I completely forgot my sadness.
After the first time we danced, we went out with some friends to eat Thai food, and I was thinking pretty distinctly about just how incredible our dance was and everything, and how like, who is this person? This is amazing. Just the way you eat, just different things, different things, you know. And then you hadn't really been saying much, but then I see you very directly and yet quietly, somehow across the table, stretch and hand me your phone. So I'll give you my number. And it was just this feeling of like, I mean, I was going to ask, but thanks. You know? And I remember meeting you in Kensington and just feeling like I had certain boundaries for obvious reasons, but there's still being this feeling of like, stop doing all the things. Stop. Why did you have to bring me like this delicious food? And there's so many whys. Like, why are you doing all these things that are perfect right now? And I wasn't saying any of this out loud. But I remember, you know, that afternoon kind of carried on. You had to go into this modeling interview or meeting, and at one point you look at me and you're just like, you're so romantic. And I think to myself, I'm like, what are you talking about? I've been trying to like be at a distance, and so I don't know what you're talking about. This is me at a good safe distance, you know?
What's so amazing about our dynamic is that we always just meet in it just in the way that it is. That we're able to have a vast range of relationship, whether it's encompassed in the beautiful romantic moment of dancing to Frank Sinatra, playing in our headphones, cheek to cheek, in the snow, in the street. It's so rooted in that mutual respect for one another. And there is no desire for it to be more than that.
I remember being at the regional contact jam with you, and you said, like, this is the best moment. This is the greatest moment. Like, we've just had, like, this is such a good moment for us. And I looked at you and I said, we always have great moments. That's been our entire, like, existence. Whenever we spent any time together, it's always good moments.
But that was a really great moment.
We were dancing. The room was so hot. It was one of the DJ nights. It was so hot in there. and I don't know how long we danced. We just kept going.
I remember, and our dance was so fucking sexy. Like, I swear we dominated that room, and it was like full to the brim, and everybody was hot, and it was like live energy, and I was just like on top of you, like riding, and you just be like throwing me. Oh my god, it was like, wow, it was like probably one of the most memorable dances we've had. Yeah.
So sweaty.
It's so sweaty.
You said walking out of there, you felt like we were glistening like gods.
Totally.
Crazy.
Totally were.
So good. And it's not only in like that aliveness and fire that I feel that meeting. I remember being so surprised at how I felt really met by you once when we were camping. And I hadn't felt for a long time someone put so much effort into bringing me back to myself and like being in that joy again. And I remember sitting with you by the fire later that evening, and you started talking about when we first met again, when you were feeling really down and you felt like you had lost like touch with that spark in yourself. It was just after the theater and all of that. Like in dancing with me, you just felt like really swept up again in this like joy and this happiness. And then like you went quiet for a bit and I was listening to you, and then you said like, you saved me. And when I heard that, it was like the puzzle piece I didn't realize. Like, that's obviously you would put this much effort into helping me connect with joy. We both do that, you know? Like there's just such a deep care there. It's really clear.
The beautiful thing is that there is such wonderful chemistry, there is deep care, there is such love, but the boundaries have always been respected. And the thing is that no matter how intense moments can get, it does not invite presumptions to cross our personal boundaries. And it's so beautiful that neither of us are ones to push anything. And so there's never any pressure of how things ought to be in relationship. And that's so rare, to be met in the respect of our interpersonal boundaries, so we can hold the harmony of each other's lives in its integrity. And it's really beautiful to find someone who actually gets it. I think that's what makes a dance so good, and how we meet is an example of that.